He conveniently doesn't remember. How do you forget if you go to an inauguration? I can tell you when I was at the inaugurations, and you don't forget something like that. So he got caught, and it's pretty bad. And it's making him look bad, frankly. It's a very important time. This is a transition, and a very important transition, and especially because things will be done beautifully, but they'll be done differently than they have been over the past 8 years. And I can say over the past 16 years, I mean, they'll be different. And, you know, we have to have a smooth transition. And President Obama understands that very well, and that's why he's been so gracious.
All right, joining us now to talk about all this is Tom Tancredo, former Republican congressman from the great state of Colorado, and also former presidential candidate and congressman. Welcome aboard. Is it not true that you did not attend the inauguration and the State of the Unions and various events involving one William Jefferson Clinton?
That's absolutely true. So, you know, every time I read about this, you know, there's now 50 that won't go. I keep thinking, so what? Who cares? You know, who needs them, first of all? And if you didn't mention it, and of course, only the press, this media would mention it, nobody'd know and nobody'd care. And I didn't go. You're right. And I remember being asked about it by the Denver Post here called me because we didn't go to the freshman freshman dinner that was held at the White House for all the new congressmen. And they called me and said, why didn't you go? And I said, well, I had a better offer. And they said, what? And I said, dinner with my wife. And then when they wouldn't go, I didn't go to the speeches, to the State of the Union speeches or whatever. Same thing. They kept asking me, and I said, look, I don't want to be in the same room with this guy because I might have to shake his hand, and you know, you just never know where that's been. So there's been a lot of history here with me in this whole issue of going to that, and I just don't see why anybody pays attention to it. They didn't pay that much attention when I didn't go, so I don't see why they pay so much attention now. Well, of course I do. I'm just joking. Of course they want to focus on this as being some horrible, horrible slight. If they didn't mention it, believe me, no one would know and no one would care. And by the way, if they didn't mention it, most of them would probably go.